Welcome to Emily US English. I'm Emily, so happy you're here today. Maybe you're sitting in a quiet room with your headphones on, or maybe you're walking outside, trying to make English a part of your day. Wherever you are, take a deep breath. Relax. You're not just learning English, you're learning to express yourself, to connect, to grow. Many learners begin their English journey feeling nervous. They worry about grammar, about mistakes, about not sounding perfect. But let me tell you something important right at the beginning. Perfection is not the goal. Connection is. The real beauty of English, or any language, lies in how it helps you share your thoughts, your dreams, your emotions with the world. When you speak from your heart, even simple English becomes powerful. I know what it's like to feel stuck. You understand words when you read or listen, but when it's time to speak, your mind goes blank. You feel your confidence disappear. But here's a little secret I've learned after years of teaching and speaking with learners from all around the world. You already know more English than you think. The problem is not your knowledge, it's your mindset. You're afraid to make mistakes. You're afraid to sound different. You're afraid people will judge your accent. But what if I told you that every native speaker once sounded strange too? When a child learns to speak, they make thousands of mistakes. No one tells them to stop. They keep trying. They repeat. They imitate. They laugh. And slowly, without even noticing, they speak naturally. That's the process you need to trust again. The process of natural learning, of repetition, of enjoying every step instead of chasing perfection. So, from today, I want you to think differently. Don't study English, live it. Don't memorize, but feel the words. Don't chase fast results, enjoy slow progress. Because when you learn slowly but deeply, your brain starts to understand the rhythm, the tone, the soul of the language. You start to think in English, not just translate. That's when fluency begins. When I say speak English naturally, I mean letting your words flow like water. It's not about big words or fancy expressions. It's about sound, rhythm, emotion. It's about saying something simple like, "That's nice," "I see," or "Really?" in a way that feels alive, real, human. Speaking naturally means speaking like yourself, just in English. Now, I want you to imagine something. Imagine you're sitting in a small coffee shop in the morning. The air smells of fresh coffee and baked bread. You hear people talking around you. A soft mix of laughter, greetings, questions. "Hey, how's it going?" "Not bad. You?" "I'm just waiting for my friend." That's real English. It's simple, but it's alive. When you hear those short exchanges, you might think, "Oh, that's too easy." But that's exactly how native speakers talk. They don't use long or complicated sentences all the time. They use short, natural phrases full of rhythm and feeling. That's what you should practice every day. Instead of repeating grammar exercises, try repeating real-life conversations. Listen carefully, then say them out loud. Don't just focus on words. Notice the emotion, the intonation, the connection between sounds. Notice how are you becomes "how are ya?" or how "what are you doing?" becomes "what you doing?" These small details are what make your English sound real. When you start to practice this way, something magical happens. You begin to enjoy speaking. You start to smile when you talk in English. You stop worrying so much about grammar. You realize communication is not about rules. It's about energy, emotion, and presence. You see, when native speakers talk, they don't think about grammar either. They think about you. They think about what they want to share. They focus on meaning, not mistakes. So when you speak, do the same. Focus on connecting. Focus on being kind, clear, and open. That's what people remember, not your grammar, but your warmth. And yes, your accent is beautiful. Don't hide it. Don't try to erase it. Your accent tells your story. It's a part of who you are. It means you speak more than one language. That's something to be proud of. Fluency doesn't mean sounding like an American or a British speaker. It means sounding comfortable in your own English. Here's a little exercise I want you to try. Take a deep breath and say out loud, I'm learning English every day. I'm getting better every day. I speak with confidence and joy. Say it slowly. Feel each word. Smile while you say it. Because when you speak with positive energy, your voice becomes more natural, your pronunciation improves, and your confidence grows. And now, let me share another truth with you. The fastest way to learn English is to listen, really listen. Listen to conversations, podcasts, short talks, music, or even movies. But don't just hear the words, listen to how they sound together. Listen to the tone, the pauses, the rhythm. Then repeat them like a melody. Because English, just like music, has rhythm and flow. Once you feel it, everything becomes easier. You might not understand every single word at first, and that's okay. Understanding grows with exposure, not pressure. Imagine a baby learning to talk. They listen for months before saying anything. You can do the same. Listen, repeat, smile, and let the language enter your heart naturally. I know learning a new language can feel lonely sometimes. You might feel like nobody understands how hard you're trying. But I want you to know you're not alone. Millions of people around the world are walking the same path with you. Every day, they listen, they practice, and they try again. You're part of that beautiful community of learners who believe that communication matters more than perfection. So, from now on, promise yourself this. You will speak English every day, even just a little. You will make mistakes, but you'll keep going. You will listen with your heart, not just your ears. You will practice until English feels natural, warm, and alive, like a conversation with a friend. And as you keep listening to my voice here, I'll be with you, guiding you, encouraging you, and helping you speak English naturally and confidently. Together, we'll learn to express who you are through this language. Step by step, word by word, moment by moment, you will find your own English voice, calm, clear, and full of life. Sometimes, the most beautiful English conversations begin with the simplest words. You don't need a big vocabulary or perfect grammar to connect. You just need warmth, curiosity, and a few natural phrases that sound real. That's what small talk is all about. Simple words that open the door to friendship. When people first learn English, they often think small talk is meaningless. But in reality, it's how relationships begin. Think about it. Every friendship, every job interview, every first meeting usually starts with a short, easy exchange. Hey, how are you? Good, thanks. How about you? These little moments build comfort and trust. Now, I want you to imagine this. You walk into your favorite coffee shop. The smell of roasted beans fills the air, soft music plays in the background, and the barista smiles at you. You say, "Hi, how's your day going?" And they reply, "Pretty good, thanks. How about you?" You smile, you order your drink, and suddenly you've had your first real English conversation of the day. It's short, but it's real. This is the kind of English I want you to practice. Real, everyday English. Not textbook sentences, not memorized dialogues. Real words, real tone, real life. Let's listen to this short dialogue. Hey, how's it going?
Not bad. Just finishing my lunch. How about you?
Same here. I needed a break from work. Simple, right? But so natural. No one said, "I am fine, thank you," because that's not how real people talk. Instead, they used expressions like "not bad," "same here," and "I needed a break." These are the little details that make your English sound alive. I want you to repeat after me. Hey, how's it going? Not bad. Same here. I needed a break. Say it again, but this time don't just say the words, feel them. Smile while you say them. Let your voice rise and fall naturally, like a wave. That's how you start sounding like a native speaker, not by studying grammar, but by feeling the music of the language. When you greet someone, don't worry about being perfect. Focus on being kind. English speakers value friendliness more than correctness. A warm, "Hi, how are ya?" with a smile always feels better than a stiff, "Good afternoon, how do you do?" Now, let's look at some other ways people greet each other naturally. "Hey, what's up?" "How's your day been?" "Pretty good, you?" "Can't complain." "Just taking it easy." These phrases are short but full of personality. They show that you're relaxed and confident, and that's what makes your English sound natural. Let's try another short exchange. "What are you up to today?"
Not much, just running a few errands.
A. Same here. I've got a lot to do before the weekend. See, natural English isn't about big grammar. It's about flow, rhythm, and real-life expressions. Now, let's slow down and look at the sound. Listen carefully to how native speakers connect their words. They don't say, "What are you up to?" slowly and separately. It becomes, "What ya up to?" or "What are ya up to?" The sounds blend together. That's what we call connected speech. It's what makes English sound fast and alive. But don't be afraid of that speed. Once your ears get used to the rhythm, it starts to feel natural, almost like listening to your favorite song. Let's practice again. Say this slowly first. "What are you doing?" Now say it naturally. "What you doing?" Hear the difference? It's smoother, softer, more musical. That's the magic of natural English. So how can you get better at this? Here's a small routine I want you to follow. Every morning, choose one short English conversation. Listen to it, then repeat it several times, not just with your mouth, but with your whole self. Feel the rhythm, copy the emotion, imitate the energy. You're not memorizing, you're training your mouth and brain to move together naturally. You can even record your voice. When you listen to yourself, you'll start to notice small things, your pauses, your tone, your pronunciation. Don't judge yourself, just observe. Be kind. Improvement comes from awareness, not punishment. Let me tell you something beautiful about learning English. It's not only about communication, it's also about understanding people. Every time you say "good morning" or "how's it going," you're showing someone that you care. You're opening a small window for kindness to pass through. That's powerful. Sometimes a simple "Hi, how are you?" can make someone's day better. That's what language is for, to connect hearts. So never underestimate the power of small talk. And here's something else. When you start speaking English naturally, you start thinking in English too. You stop translating from your native language. Instead of thinking, "What should I say?" you just say it. The words come like a flow. That's fluency, not perfection, but flow. The more you practice small talk, the more comfortable you become. You'll start using fillers like, "you know," "I mean," "actually," "kind of," or "sort of." These small words help your sentences sound smooth and real. For example, "I kind of feel tired today." "You know, it's been a long week." "Actually, I really like your accent." These little expressions make your English sound alive, friendly, and confident. And don't forget, tone matters as much as words. When you say, "That's great," say it with energy. When you say, "Oh, really?" show curiosity. When you say, "I see," sound understanding. English is not only spoken, it's felt. I know sometimes you might feel shy about speaking. Maybe you're afraid of forgetting words, or maybe you think people won't understand you. But listen carefully. Even native speakers forget words all the time. They pause, they say they change their sentence halfway. That's normal. That's human.
Don't be afraid to sound human. Every time you speak, you're training your brain to be faster, your mouth to be freer, your heart to be braver. You're not just learning English, you're building confidence, connection, and courage. So, next time you meet someone, even for a short moment, in a cafe, at work, on the bus, smile and say something simple in English. Hi, how's your day? That's it. That's your practice. That's your victory. Because real English learning doesn't happen only in books. It happens in life, in small talk, in laughter, in mistakes, in moments. The more you live in English, the more English becomes a part of you. And as you keep listening to this podcast, remember, you're not practicing alone. I'm right here with you, speaking softly, guiding you, reminding you that you can do this. You can speak English naturally. You can make it part of your everyday world. You just have to keep listening, keep speaking, and keep believing in yourself. Take another deep breath now. You've already spoken English today. You've listened, repeated, imagined, and learned. That's progress. That's success. Every small conversation brings you closer to fluency. Keep walking this path with me. Together, step by step, we'll make English not something you study, but something you live.
Every day begins with small, beautiful moments. The sound of your alarm, the sunlight touching your face, the smell of coffee in the kitchen. These moments are the heart of daily life, and they're also perfect opportunities to practice your English naturally. Let's imagine this together. You wake up in the morning, stretch your arms, and say softly to yourself, "Good morning." Then you go to the bathroom, look into the mirror, and smile. You whisper, "Today's going to be a good day." That's your first English conversation of the day, a conversation with yourself. Speaking English doesn't always mean talking to other people. Sometimes it's about talking to your own heart in a new language. You can start your morning routine entirely in English. As you get ready, describe what you're doing. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm making coffee. I'm getting dressed. I'm checking my phone. Say it softly. Say it naturally. You're not memorizing. You're living in English. Now, let's imagine a short, natural morning dialogue. Morning. Did you sleep well?
Yeah, not bad. I woke up a bit early though.
Same here. I couldn't stop thinking about work.
Tell me about it. I need another cup of coffee.
Simple, right? But that's exactly how native speakers talk every morning. Relaxed, casual, and real. When you practice English, try to bring that same feeling. Not stiff, not perfect, just real. It's okay if you make small mistakes. What matters is that you sound natural and connected. Now let's move through your day together. You grab your bag and leave the house. Maybe you meet your neighbor or see someone at the bus stop. You can say, "Morning." "Hey, how's it going?" "Beautiful day, huh?" These are easy, friendly phrases that build connection. You don't need deep grammar to make someone smile, just warmth. On your way to work or school, you can describe what you see, again in English. "The sky looks so clear today." "I love how quiet the streets are in the morning." "There's traffic, as always." This simple habit of describing your surroundings in English helps your mind think naturally in the language. You're not translating anymore. You're feeling English. Now let's imagine you've arrived at work. A colleague walks by your desk and says, "Hey, how's your morning so far?" You reply, "Pretty good, just catching up on emails." This is small talk again, but this time it's workplace English, friendly, light, and polite. When you want to sound natural at work, try using short, conversational phrases like, "Sounds good. Let me check on that. Got it. Will do. Thanks for letting me know." These little expressions make your English sound professional and relaxed at the same time. Let's practice a short workplace conversation. "Hey, did you finish the report?"
Almost. I'll send it to you in an hour.
"Cool. No rush. Thanks."
No problem.
Did you notice how natural that feels? English at work doesn't have to be formal all the time. It's about being clear, polite, and easy to talk to. Now, let's move to lunchtime. Imagine you're sitting with your coworkers or classmates. You can use phrases like, "What are you having for lunch? This looks delicious. I'm starving. I needed this break so bad." These are small, real phrases that native speakers use every day. When you learn and repeat them, your English starts to sound effortless. After lunch, maybe you're tired. You stretch and say, I could use a nap, or I need another coffee, or this afternoon's going to be long. These are casual but common phrases that make you sound natural. Now it's the end of the day. You're packing your things and getting ready to leave work. You can say to your colleague, "All right, I'm heading out. See you tomorrow. Take care. Have a good evening." Each phrase is short but warm, and when you say it with a smile, it carries more meaning than any grammar rule could ever teach. Let's imagine now you're at home, relaxing after a long day. You take a deep breath and say, "Finally home," or "What a day," or "Time to relax." These are your daily English thoughts, real, natural, and alive. Now you might call a friend. Let's listen to a friendly evening conversation. "Hey, what's up?"
Hey, what's up?
"Not much, just chillin'. You?" "Same, I just got home from work."
Busy day?
"Yeah, pretty crazy, but I'm glad it's over."
Totally. You deserve some rest.
Did you feel the rhythm of that dialogue? It's light, real, and full of emotion. That's how native speakers sound in daily life, comfortable, honest, and expressive. You can use these same patterns every day. They'll become part of your routine. The more you use them, the more natural you'll sound. And here's a secret. Fluency doesn't come from studying more. It comes from living in English every single day. From greeting your mirror in the morning to talking to your friends at night, every moment can be an English moment. You can even think in English while doing small tasks. While cooking, "I need to chop some onions." While cleaning, "Let's get this done." While walking, "It feels nice outside." These sentences may seem small, but they build habits, and habits build fluency. Everyday English isn't about sounding perfect. It's about sounding real. It's about using English as a bridge between your thoughts and the world around you. So tomorrow morning when you wake up, I want you to start your day in English. Greet yourself. Describe your morning. Say thank you for the new day. Talk to yourself like you would talk to a friend, with kindness, warmth, and confidence. Because that's what this journey is really about. Not just learning English, but learning to express your soul in another language. And as you keep practicing, you'll notice something magical. English won't feel like something you're learning anymore. It'll feel like something you live. You'll speak more naturally, think faster, and feel freer. Every morning coffee, every small chat, every deep breath, it's all part of your English story. And I'm so proud that you're writing it, one beautiful day at a time. Confidence is not something you wake up with, it's something you grow, moment by moment, word by word. When you learn English, confidence becomes your most powerful tool. It's not about how many words you know or how perfect your grammar is. It's about the courage to open your mouth and speak. So many learners tell me, "Emily, I understand English when I listen, but I can't speak." And I always smile and say, "You can. You just don't trust yourself yet." Because inside you, there's already an English voice waiting to come out. It's soft at first, maybe shy, but it's there, full of potential, waiting for you to believe in it. Let's start by remembering something simple. No one was born fluent. Every fluent speaker was once a beginner. Every confident person was once afraid.
Even native speakers get nervous when they have to give a speech or talk in front of others. So don't think you're alone in your fear. The difference between confident speakers and shy ones isn't talent, it's practice and mindset. You see, confidence in English grows from 3 things: kindness, repetition, and courage. Kindness, because you must be kind to yourself. You'll make mistakes, forget words, and feel frustrated sometimes. That's okay. Every mistake is a teacher in disguise. Repetition, because every time you repeat a phrase, your brain builds a stronger connection. And courage, because every time you speak, even when you're scared, you become stronger. Let's imagine a small but powerful conversation between 2 friends.
I'm so nervous about my presentation tomorrow.
You'll do great. You've practiced so much.
Yeah, but I always freeze when people look at me.
Just breathe. Focus on your message, not on their faces. You've got this.
That's what real encouragement sounds like. Simple, warm, and real. You can even say the same words to yourself. I've got this. Say it out loud right now. Feel how strong those 3 words are. When you practice English, talk to yourself with kindness, not criticism. Instead of saying, I'm terrible at English, say, I'm learning, I'm improving, I'm proud of myself. Your brain listens to every word you say, so make sure your inner voice speaks like a friend, not a judge. Here's another short dialogue to inspire you. I made so many mistakes when I talked today.
That's good. It means you actually talked.
Yeah, but I felt embarrassed.
Mistakes mean progress. If you never make mistakes, you're not growing.
And that's true. Every mistake is proof that you're trying. Every time you speak English, even when it feels uncomfortable, you're building confidence. Sometimes, confidence doesn't come from what you say. It comes from how you say it. Your body language, your tone, your energy, all of it matters. When you speak, lift your chin a little, smile gently, and take your time. English isn't a race, it's a dance. Try this exercise. Stand in front of a mirror, look into your eyes, and say, I'm confident. I'm learning. I'm not afraid of making mistakes. Repeat it 3 times, slowly, with a smile. It may feel silly at first, but it works, because your body and your mind believe what they hear repeatedly. Confidence also grows from connection. Talk to people, even if it's just a few sentences. Ask questions, say hello, share small moments. Each conversation is like a seed. It might seem small now, but it will grow into a beautiful tree of fluency and trust. Let's imagine a conversation with a stranger at a coffee shop. Hi, is this seat taken?
Oh, no. Go ahead.
Thanks. It's really crowded today, huh?
Yeah, I guess everyone needed their caffeine fix.
Totally. I can't start my day without coffee.
That's a simple, confident, real-life exchange. And what makes it beautiful isn't grammar or vocabulary, it's connection. If you want to feel confident in English, start by listening more, not just to the words, but to the energy behind them. Notice how native speakers pause, laugh, nod, or show interest. Communication isn't only about speaking, it's about feeling and responding. Confidence also grows when you celebrate your small wins. Maybe you understood a podcast without subtitles today. Maybe you ordered food in English. Maybe you introduced yourself to someone new. These are not small moments, they are victories. Write them down, smile about them. Every win counts. And when you feel discouraged, because there will be days when you do, remind yourself that learning English is not a straight line. Some days you'll feel amazing, and some days you'll feel lost. But every single day, you're still moving forward. Let me tell you something I've seen again and again. Confidence doesn't come before speaking, it comes after. You speak first, then confidence appears.
So don't wait to feel ready. You'll never be ready if you keep waiting. Just start. Speak anyway. The act of speaking creates confidence. Think about a time you were afraid to do something, maybe riding a bike or speaking in front of a group. The first time was scary, but after a few tries, it felt easier, right? That's exactly how English works. The more you speak, the less fear you feel. And when you meet someone who speaks English better than you, don't compare. Connect. Learn from them. Ask questions. Be curious. Comparison kills confidence, but curiosity builds it. Let's imagine another short, motivational exchange.
Your English is amazing. I wish I could speak like you.
Thank you. But remember, I used to struggle too. It just takes time and practice.
Really? That makes me feel better.
Of course. You're doing great. Just keep going.
That's how you should see yourself, too. You're doing great. You're improving every single day, even when it doesn't feel like it. Confidence isn't loud. It's not about speaking fast or perfectly. True confidence is quiet. It's the calm belief inside you that says, I can do this. So next time you speak English, don't focus on being perfect. Focus on being present. Listen, breathe, and speak slowly. Let your words flow from your heart. You can even tell yourself before every conversation, I don't need to be perfect. I just need to be me. And one more thing, confidence grows when you enjoy the process. Don't make English feel like a test. Make it feel like music. Sing it, play with it, laugh with it. Watch your favorite movies, talk about your dreams, tell your stories, all in English. When you bring joy into your learning, confidence follows naturally. So, tonight, before you go to sleep, I want you to say this softly to yourself. I'm proud of myself for trying. Because every time you try, you're not just learning a language, you're becoming braver, more open, more connected to the world. And I'll be here with you every step of the way, cheering for you, believing in you, helping you find your voice in English, because your voice matters, and the world needs to hear it. Every language becomes real when you start using it in your everyday life. At home, at work, with friends, in laughter, in small moments. That's when English stops being just a subject you study and becomes part of who you are. Let's start where every day begins, at home. Home is your comfort zone, your quiet space, and also your best classroom. You don't need books or teachers there, you just need awareness. Every small moment can become English practice. When you wake up and make your bed, you can whisper to yourself, let's make it neat. When you open the window, you can say, what a fresh morning. When you cook breakfast, describe what you're doing. I'm frying eggs. I'm pouring some milk. Smells so good. Simple, right? But every phrase you say aloud connects English to your daily rhythm. It turns vocabulary into memories, grammar into habits, and pronunciation into music. Here's a small, natural home conversation. Morning. Did you sleep well?
Yeah, I did. But I had the weirdest dream.
Oh, really? What about?
I was flying over the city with my cat.
That's hilarious. Maybe it means you need a break. You see? Natural, friendly, warm, just like how real people talk. You can even practice when you talk to your family. For example, could you pass me the salt, please? Dinner's ready. I'll do the dishes tonight. Don't forget to turn off the lights. Every one of these phrases builds your English muscle, the one that helps you speak without thinking too hard. Now let's move to work, the place where many people feel nervous speaking English. But remember, English at work doesn't have to be complicated or formal. It's about being polite, clear, and confident. Here's how a short office conversation might sound. Hey, do you have a minute?
Sure, what's up?
I just wanted to check if you got my email.
Yeah, I saw it this morning. I'll reply after the meeting.
Great, thanks a lot. That's simple, professional, and natural. You don't need long sentences, just short, clear communication. Here are some expressions you can use every day at work. Can we go over this together? Thanks for the update. I really appreciate your help. Let me double check that. I'll get back to you soon. These are phrases native speakers use constantly, not just in offices, but in any workplace. And when you want to sound even more natural, try adding short softeners like, I think, I guess, it seems like. These make your speech sound polite and friendly. For example, instead of saying, you're wrong, you can say, I think there might be another way to see it. That's how professional English works. It's about tone as much as words. Now imagine you're in a team meeting. You can say things like, I agree with you. That's a good point. Let's look at this from another angle. I see what you mean. These short expressions show that you're confident, respectful, and engaged, all in natural English. At the end of a workday, don't forget friendly small talk. You can say, busy day, huh? See you tomorrow. Enjoy your evening. Take it easy. Those small sentences carry warmth. They make you sound human, not robotic. Now let's step outside work and into social life, the place where English becomes emotional, expressive, and full of joy. Imagine meeting a friend after a long week. Hey, long time no see.
I know. How have you been?
Hey, pretty good. Just busy with work, as always.
Same here. We should grab coffee sometime.
Definitely. Let's do that next week. That's the rhythm of real social English. Light, natural, full of connection. When you talk with friends, try to use natural fillers like, actually, kind of, like. They make your English sound relaxed and native-like. For example, I was kind of tired, Actually, I didn't expect that. It's not bad, but it could be better. These small details add personality and rhythm to your speech. Social English also includes emotional expression, sharing how you feel. I'm so excited. That's awesome. I'm really proud of you. Don't worry, everything will be okay. These short, honest phrases are what make English alive. You can also learn how to comfort, encourage, and support others. You've got this. I believe in you. I'm here for you. That happens to everyone. Don't stress. When you speak from the heart, your English becomes powerful, not because it's perfect, but because it's real. Now imagine you're at a cafe with new friends. So, how do you spend your weekends?
I usually hang out with friends or go hiking. What about you?
I love watching movies or trying new recipes.
Oh, really? What's your favorite dish to cook?
Probably pasta. It's easy but so satisfying. That's how you connect, with curiosity, warmth, and shared interests. And when you make a mistake in conversation, just smile. You can say, oops, that came out wrong, or let me try that again. Native speakers make mistakes too. They just keep talking. You see, real-life English isn't about perfect grammar. It's about rhythm, emotion, and authenticity. It's about how your words feel when they leave your mouth. It's about how people feel when they hear you. At home, you speak with comfort. At work, with clarity. With friends, with heart. That's the balance of natural English. And as you keep practicing these small, real conversations, you'll start noticing something magical. English won't feel like something you perform. It'll feel like something you live. You'll start thinking in English when you open your fridge, when you check your phone, when you laugh with friends. You'll start feeling English emotions, excitement, joy, curiosity, not just translating them. That's when fluency truly begins. So tonight, before bed, take a moment to reflect. How did I use English today? Even if it was just one phrase, one thought, one conversation, it counts. Every bit of practice builds your confidence and shapes your fluency. You're not just learning English, you're building a new version of yourself, one that's braver, more expressive, more open to the world. And remember, no one can take that progress away from you. Every word you've spoken, every mistake you've made, every sentence you've tried, they all belong to your journey. So keep going, keep talking, keep living in English. Because every time you use this language in real life, you make it more yours, natural, alive, and beautifully unique. When you start using English in real life, maybe at work, in school, or during meetings, everything suddenly feels a little more serious, right? You start thinking, I must speak perfectly, or what if I make a mistake in front of others? Let's stop right there. Take a deep breath. Here's what I want you to remember. Even native speakers make small mistakes all the time. What really matters is your clarity, your confidence, and your connection with people. Imagine this. You walk into your office or classroom and someone says, "Good morning, how's everything going?" You might feel pressured to respond with something fancy, but the truth is, natural English is simple. You could just smile and say, "Hey, pretty good. How about you?" That's it. You sound warm, natural, and confident. In English, sounding professional doesn't mean sounding formal or cold. It means being polite, clear, and friendly. For example, instead of saying, "I want this report by tomorrow," you can say, "Could you please send me the report by tomorrow?" The meaning is the same, but the tone changes completely. It sounds respectful and easy to listen to. Now, let's look at a short, real conversation at work. Hey, did you get a chance to review the slides for tomorrow's meeting?
Yeah, I did. They look great. I just made a few small changes to the last part.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I'll check them again later today.
No problem. Let me know if you need anything else.
Simple, right? But so natural. Notice how they use short, connected sentences. Yeah, I did. They look great. No problem. That's exactly how native speakers sound in real workplaces. Let's break down some useful phrases you can use in your daily communication at work or school. Did you get a chance to? A polite way to ask if someone has done something. Instead of saying, "Did you do it?" which can sound too direct, this one feels softer and friendly. Let me know if you need anything. A natural closing phrase that shows cooperation and kindness. "I'll take care of it" means "I'll do it," but sounds more professional. "Thanks for the update." A quick, polite way to show appreciation when someone gives you new information. "I really appreciate your help." Stronger than just "thanks." It sounds warm and sincere. At school, the tone is slightly different, but the goal is the same, to sound natural and respectful. For example, when you talk to a teacher or classmate, you can say, "Hey, I was wondering if you could help me with this assignment." Or, "Could you explain that one more time, please?" These small details make your English sound polite, confident, and natural, not memorized or robotic. Let's imagine another situation. You're in a group discussion. Someone shares an opinion, and you want to respond naturally. Here are some useful ways to do that. "That's an interesting point." "I see what you mean." "I'm not sure I completely agree, but..." "Maybe we could look at it from another angle." These expressions help you sound thoughtful and engaged, not just yes or no. Remember, natural conversation is like dancing. You listen, you respond, and you keep the rhythm going. Now, let's talk about one more important skill, giving your opinion clearly but politely.
In English, we often start with softeners like, I think. It seems to me that. From my point of view. Personally, I feel that. These phrases make your opinion sound more natural, less forceful, and easier to accept. For example, instead of saying, "You're wrong," you can say, "I see your point, but I think there might be another way to look at it." See how gentle and balanced that sounds? That's real English in action. And when you agree with someone, try these instead of just yes. Exactly. That's so true. I couldn't agree more. You're absolutely right. They sound engaged and confident, like a native speaker who's truly part of the conversation. In every professional setting, your tone speaks louder than your words. Smile when you talk, use your hands naturally, keep your voice warm, not flat. And when you don't know a word, don't panic. Just describe it simply or say, "I'm not sure what it's called in English, but it's like." That's what real communication looks like: flexible, human, and alive. Before we move to the next part, let's remember this golden rule. People don't remember perfect grammar. They remember how you made them feel. So when you speak English at work or school, make others feel comfortable, confident, and connected. That's what truly fluent people do.
Sometimes, the most beautiful conversations happen when we talk about how we feel, not just what we do. In English, expressing your feelings and opinions helps you connect deeply with others, whether it's your friends, colleagues, or even people you've just met. But many English learners feel shy about this. They worry, what if I say it the wrong way? Or what if I sound too emotional? Here's something I want you to know. Expressing emotions is not weakness, it's honesty. And English has so many simple, natural ways to show your feelings without sounding too dramatic. Imagine someone asks you, "How are you feeling today?" Instead of the same old, "I'm fine," you could say, "I'm feeling a bit tired, but good overall," or "Pretty happy today, actually." Just a few extra words make you sound more natural, more real. You can also express feelings with short, gentle phrases like, "That makes me really happy." "I'm a little worried about it." "I was surprised to hear that." "It made me laugh so much." Native speakers use these every day, not big, complicated sentences, but small, human expressions that make conversations warm and alive. When you want to share your opinions, the key is balance. Be confident, but also respectful. English has softeners that make your speech sound natural and polite. For example, instead of saying, "You're wrong," you could say, "I see your point, but I think a bit differently." Or, "That's an interesting idea. Maybe we could also consider this." See the difference? You're not attacking the other person's idea, you're adding yours. That's how real English conversations flow smoothly. Let's listen to a short dialogue to feel how this works in everyday life. Anna, "I think working from home is the best option. It's comfortable and saves time." James, "Yeah, that's true. I like it too, but I sometimes miss being around people in the office." Anna, "Yeah, I get that. It can feel lonely sometimes." James, "Exactly. So maybe a mix of both is perfect." This is what we call a natural exchange. They listen, they respond, they agree, and balance each other's ideas. That's how fluent speakers communicate, not with perfect grammar, but with connection and rhythm. Let's go a little deeper. When you talk about feelings or opinions, you can use emotional adjectives to sound more expressive. Here are a few: excited, nervous, grateful, disappointed, curious, confident, relaxed. You can combine them with "I feel" or "I'm feeling," like this. "I feel confident about my presentation." "I'm feeling a bit nervous before the interview." "I felt so grateful for your help." Notice how simple these sentences are. No fancy grammar, just real emotion.
When you listen to others talk about their feelings, it's also important to respond naturally. For example, "Oh, really? That must be hard. I totally understand. I'm happy for you. That sounds exciting." These small reactions show that you care, and that's what makes conversations flow. Many English learners think speaking is about choosing the right words, but it's also about choosing the right tone. You can say the same sentence in a way that sounds kind or one that sounds cold. Let's compare. Cold tone, "I don't agree." Warm tone, "I'm not sure I completely agree, but I see your point." The second one feels open, friendly, and respectful. This is how you build trust and connection through your English. You can also use body language and your voice to express emotion. Smile when you speak, nod when you listen, and let your voice rise and fall naturally. English is a musical language. The melody matters as much as the words. Now imagine this situation. A friend tells you they didn't get the job they wanted. You could respond with something comforting, like, "Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that, but don't worry, maybe something even better is coming." Simple words but full of warmth. That's what makes English communication beautiful. Or when someone shares good news, like, "I passed my exam," you can reply, "That's amazing, I'm so proud of you." Notice how short, emotional responses make you sound real, like you're speaking from the heart. Another important thing, never be afraid to say what you think. English culture values honesty and personal opinions as long as they're shared kindly. You don't need to sound like everyone else. Use your own words, your own energy. That's what makes your English special. Sometimes you'll be in situations where you need to give feedback, maybe in a class or at work. You can use the sandwich method. Start positive, then give your opinion, and positive again. For example, "Your idea is really creative. I just think we could make the introduction a bit shorter, but overall, I love the concept." This way, your feedback sounds kind, helpful, and balanced. As you practice, try to listen to how native speakers express emotions in movies, songs, and podcasts. Notice the phrases, but also the rhythm, how they pause, how their voice rises at the end of a sentence. Try repeating what you hear, not word for word, but feeling by feeling. Because learning English isn't just about what you say, it's about how you make people feel. When you can express yourself naturally, with emotion and kindness, your English stops being a language you study. It becomes a part of who you are. So, take a deep breath. You don't need to sound perfect. You just need to sound you.
After talking about feelings and opinions, let's move into another part of everyday life, making plans and invitations. This is where English becomes fun, friendly, and full of connection. Because communication isn't just about words, it's about moments. The small, real moments when we say, "Hey, let's meet up," or "Do you want to grab a coffee?" These are the sentences that build friendships, create memories, and make you sound like a native speaker without even trying. Think about the last time you wanted to hang out with someone. Maybe you wanted to invite a friend for lunch, plan a study session, or go see a movie. In English, these conversations are light, casual, and full of warmth. You don't need big grammar or perfect sentences, just a friendly tone. For example, "Hey, do you want to grab coffee this weekend?" Or, "Are you free tomorrow afternoon? Maybe we can hang out." Simple, natural, and open. That's how real English invitations sound. Let's listen to a short, real-life conversation. "Hey, are you doing anything tonight?"
Not really. Why?
"Emily, I was thinking of checking out that new Italian place downtown. Want to join?"
Sure, that sounds great. What time?
"Around 7?
Perfect. See you then.
Do you notice how relaxed this sounds? There's no complicated grammar, just natural rhythm. "Are you doing anything tonight? Want to join?" Sounds great. This is the heartbeat of real English conversation. Let's look at some useful ways to make invitations naturally. Do you want to? Do you want to come over later? Would you like to? A bit more polite. Would you like to go out for lunch tomorrow? Are you free? Are you free this Saturday? How about? How about watching a movie tonight? Let's. Let's grab dinner after work. These are short, but they sound warm and friendly, perfect for real daily conversations. And if you're accepting an invitation, you can say, "Sure, that sounds great. Yeah, I'd love to. That would be awesome. Count me in." Each of these sounds enthusiastic and natural, not just yes or okay. But sometimes you need to say no, and that's totally fine. The key is to say it politely and gently. Here's how you can do it. I'd love to, but I already have plans. That sounds fun, but maybe another time. Thanks for the invite, but I can't make it this weekend. I really appreciate it, but I'm busy that day. See how each one says no softly, but still keeps the conversation positive. That's the secret to polite English, kindness in tone. When you make plans, you'll often use small talk to sound natural. For example, how's your schedule this week? Are you free after work? Let me check my calendar. What time works best for you? These simple phrases make planning sound smooth and friendly, like how native speakers talk without overthinking. Here's another short dialogue. Hey, would you like to study together tomorrow afternoon?
Yeah, that sounds good. What time were you thinking?
Emily, maybe around 2?
Perfect. Do you want to meet at the library or a cafe?
Emily, let's meet at the cafe near campus.
Great. See you then.
It's light, clear, and full of natural rhythm. Let's notice some patterns. Start with an invitation. Would you like to? Respond naturally. That sounds great. Confirm time or place. What time works for you? Or let's meet at. This structure repeats again and again in real English. It's the foundation of friendly conversation. When you're making plans in a slightly formal situation, like with coworkers or new acquaintances, just make your tone a little softer. Would you be interested in joining us for lunch? If you're free, we're getting coffee after the meeting. Maybe we could plan something for next week. This keeps things polite but still friendly. And sometimes plans change, so you need to cancel or reschedule politely. You can say, "I'm really sorry, but something came up. Can we reschedule for another day? Would it be okay if we moved our meeting to tomorrow?" Native speakers use these all the time, short, kind, and natural. Making plans is not just about words, it's about showing interest in others. When you invite someone, you're saying, "I enjoy your company. I want to spend time with you." And that's a beautiful thing. Whether it's for coffee, a study session, or a walk in the park, these moments build relationships, in English and in life. As you practice, try to use real situations. The next time you want to hang out with a friend, say it in English. The next time you want to text someone about plans, write it in English. The more you use these phrases, the more natural they'll become. And here's one more secret. It's okay to mix friendliness with your own personality. Maybe you're shy, maybe you're outgoing. It doesn't matter. English doesn't belong to native speakers only, it belongs to you too. The goal isn't to sound like someone else. The goal is to sound natural, confident, and you. So next time, instead of waiting for the perfect moment, just say it. Hey, let's grab coffee. How about a walk this weekend? Would you like to join me for lunch? Because every small invitation opens a door to connection, friendship, and confidence in your English journey.
And remember, as you practice these real-life conversations, you're not just learning English, you're learning to live through English. Each word you speak brings you closer to the world, one sentence at a time. Sometimes, learning English feels like walking through a big city you've never been to before. You know where you want to go, fluency, confidence, connection, but along the way, you take a few wrong turns. You make mistakes. You forget words. You say something and then think, wait, was that right? Let me tell you something important. Mistakes are not the opposite of learning, they are the path to learning. Every mistake you make means you are trying, you are moving, you are alive in your English journey. So in this part, let's look at some real-life situations, real mistakes, and how to fix them naturally, the way native speakers do. Imagine you're ordering coffee, and you say, "I want a coffee." That's totally fine grammatically, but it can sound a bit strong in tone. A small change makes it more natural. "Can I get a coffee, please?" Or, "I'll have a latte, please." Small details, big difference. You sound polite, confident, and friendly all at once. Or maybe someone asks you, "How long have you been here?" And you accidentally say, "I am here since Monday." Don't worry, it's one of the most common mistakes. The natural way is, "I've been here since Monday." Native speakers don't even notice these small slips. What matters is that you keep the conversation going. Here's another one. You want to say you like something. "I very like it." That sounds unnatural because very doesn't go before a verb. Just say, "I really like it," or "I like it a lot." It's soft, natural, and how real people speak. Sometimes learners feel embarrassed when they forget a word. But you don't need to stop talking. You can describe the word instead. Try these. "I don't know the word, but it's something like..." It's a kind of fruit that's small and red. You know, the thing you use to open bottles. This shows confidence and creativity. And guess what? That's what real communication looks like. And pronunciation. Oh yes, everyone worries about that. But pronunciation isn't about sounding perfectly American or British. It's about being clear and natural. Native speakers have many accents too. So focus on rhythm, stress, and intonation. Try saying sentences as a melody, not just a list of words. For example, "What are you going to do today?" You'll notice the flow. It rises and falls like music. Listen, repeat, feel the rhythm. That's how you grow. When you make a mistake, don't freeze or apologize too much. Just correct yourself naturally, like this. I go, "Sorry, I went there last week." Or, "She don't, oh, she doesn't like it." This small self-correction shows confidence and awareness. Native speakers do it all the time too. Let's look at another real-life scene. At work. You, "Sorry, I not understand." That's totally okay, but you can make it sound more fluent. "Sorry, I didn't catch that." Or, "Could you say that again, please?" Short, natural, and perfectly polite. Or maybe you'll face misunderstandings, and that's normal. Instead of panicking, just use calm, natural expressions like, "Oh, I see what you mean. Let me make sure I understood you correctly. So, you mean?" These phrases keep the conversation going smoothly. Every mistake is a mirror. It shows you what to learn next. Instead of saying, "I'm bad at English," say, "I'm still learning." That small change in mindset makes all the difference. The truth is, fluency doesn't mean never making mistakes. Fluency means being able to continue, to flow, even with mistakes. Because communication isn't about perfection, it's about connection. So next time you make an error, don't stop. Smile, fix it, and keep speaking. Every sentence you try brings you closer to natural English. Every story has an ending, but learning English is different. It doesn't end, it grows with you. Every word you learn, every phrase you practice, every conversation you have adds another color to your voice.
You started this journey maybe with hesitation, maybe with excitement, but look at you now. You've learned how to greet people naturally, talk about your day, express your feelings, make plans, and even fix your mistakes like a native speaker. That's something to be proud of. Speaking English naturally is not about memorizing perfect sentences. It's about living in the language, feeling it, breathing it, using it every day. When you speak, speak with warmth. When you listen, listen with curiosity. When you make mistakes, smile and keep going. English isn't just a subject, it's a bridge that connects you to people, to cultures, to stories. Through it, you can express your dreams, share your ideas, and understand the world a little better. So the next time you sit down with a coffee and open your notebook, remember this. Every word you speak brings you one step closer to the confident, fluent version of yourself you're becoming. Don't rush it. Enjoy it. Learn slowly, deeply, naturally. And if you ever feel stuck, just come back to these real conversations. Read them, listen again, repeat them. Let the words become part of you. Because English isn't about sounding like someone else, it's about sounding like you, but in another language. Thank you for walking with me through this journey. Thank you for trusting yourself enough to keep learning. Keep speaking. Keep believing. You're doing amazing. And before we finish, here's my gentle reminder. If you found this podcast helpful, make sure to subscribe to the channel so we can keep learning, growing, and speaking English together naturally, confidently, beautifully. This is Emily US English, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Until then, keep smiling, keep speaking, and keep shining in your English journey. Pink.